All right, let's just get right into it. Because if you've dreamt of a cage, we need to talk. Seriously. Your subconscious isn't just sending you a little hint, it's screaming for your attention. And we need to listen right now.
I want you to really get this. What we're talking about here isn't just some vague dream symbol. This is a psychic emergency. Your deepest self, the core of who you are, is issuing a survival directive. And ignoring it, that's not a neutral act. That's a choice. So, to really understand what this alarm bell in your mind is trying to tell you, we can't just look at it from one angle. Nope, we've got to bring in the heavy hitters. We're going to look at this incredibly potent symbol through a few powerful psychological and spiritual lenses. So there are basically three main ways to interpret this dream. And you can think of each one as a different key that can help unlock its meaning. We're going to look at the Freudian view, which is all about repression, the Jungian view, which is more of an identity crisis, and the spiritual view, a deep cry for freedom. Okay, so let's break this down. On one hand, you've got Freud. From his perspective, the cage is basically a suicidum wound. All your primal energy, your creativity, your desires, what he called the id, is trapped by the rules and guilt society imposes on you. You know, the superego. But then you have Jung, and for him, the crisis is much more internal. The cage is your persona. It's the mask you wear for the world. It's a false identity that you've built up, and now it's literally suffocating your true, authentic self. And then we go deeper. There's this third layer, the spiritual one. And what's so fascinating here is that the cage signals a massive crisis of freedom. It's your soul waking up and realizing, hey, I've given my power away. I've surrendered my sovereignty, and now I'm stuck. It's not just a message. It's a spiritual wake-up call of the highest order. Okay, so here's where it gets really personal. This isn't just some abstract theory. This dream you had, it's a direct map of what's happening in your waking life. So the real question for you is, where is this feeling of being caged actually showing up? Come on, think about it right now. Is it in a relationship? Do you feel totally trapped by the dynamic you have with a partner or even your family? Or maybe it's your career, that classic golden cage. You know, the one with great pay and status, but it's totally starving your soul. Could it be a crisis of identity, that constant battle between who you really are and who everyone else expects you to be? Or maybe it's spiritual. You're just refusing to grow beyond old beliefs that just don't fit anymore. And I need to be crystal clear about the stakes here. Missing the message of this dream? Well, that's not just a passive mistake. It's an active choice. To ignore this dream is to look at two paths, imprisonment and awakening, and to consciously choose the prison. So now let's get into the specifics. We're going to use the actual details of your dream like a diagnostic tool. Because you see, the little variations in the dream, they aren't random at all. They reveal the exact nature of your own unique psychic prison. So, I want you to listen really closely to what's coming next. Find yourself in these descriptions. This is the moment where the dream stops being a confusing mystery and starts being a map that can lead you out. First up, a really common one, the golden cage. This is the perfect picture of a pleasurable prison. The wealth, the status, the comfort, it all feels so good, right? But it's actually become a beautiful trap that's keeping your soul from its real purpose. Or how about this one? What if the cage door in your dream is wide open, but you just won't leave? This points to a kind of psychological conditioning. You've gotten so used to the cage that the known misery inside feels safer than the terrifying unknown freedom on the outside. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. If you dream that you are freed from the cage, that is an incredibly powerful sign. It means a breakthrough is so close. Your true self is finally breaking through that mask, that persona, and it's starting to come alive in your life. Liberation is right around the corner. And in that same vein, what if the cage is broken or it's crumbling? This means those old structures, the ones that held you back, are failing. What might feel like a chaotic breakdown in your life is actually a breakthrough in disguise. The prison has to fall apart so that you can be reborn. Now, let's run through this list real quick. It's like a diagnostic checklist. If you're locked inside, that's total repression, probably in a job or relationship you've outgrown. If you built the cage, that's self-sabotage, plain and simple. Watching someone else in a cage, well, that's you projecting your own trapped feelings onto them. See an animal inside? Your wild, instinctual soul is being tamed by your ego. An invisible cage? That points to unconscious stuff, like generational trauma. And if someone else locks you in, you're dealing with a controlling, tyrannical energy in your life. And believe it or not, the details can get even more precise, even more personal.
Seeing multiple cages? That could point to layers of repression, maybe even stuff passed down through your family. A cage that's underwater? You're being emotionally suffocated by your unconscious mind. And seeing a child in the cage? Oh, that's a big one. That's your wounded inner child, your original self, crying out for you to come and save it.
So, we've decoded the signal, we've gone through the variations, but none of this is just interesting information. It's a call to action. Your dream handed you a map, and your recognition of what it means, that is the key.
I want you to let this sink in for a second. The specific variation that you heard that made you go, whoa, that's me, that's not just a random detail. That is the door. It is the exact place where you need to push to get out of your prison.
The dream has done its part. It showed you the lock, it showed you the door, and now your conscious mind is holding the key. So the only question left, and it's the most important one of all, is will you open it? Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're not just going to analyze a dream. No, we are decoding a direct and, frankly, urgent message that's coming from your own mind. And this isn't about theory, it's all about action. So let's just dive right in. Think of a cage dream as a diagnosis, okay? It's coming straight from your unconscious. And in this explainer, we're giving you the prescription, the actual actionable steps based on what your psyche is so desperately trying to show you.
First up, we've got to look inward. We're talking about the cages that come from our own patterns, our own fears, and all those suppressed instincts we use to trap ourselves, a lot of the time without even realizing we're doing it.
Now, if this is your dream, if you're the one building the cage, your psyche is basically handing you a confession. It's a direct message about a pattern of self-sabotage that you really need to identify. But hey, this dream isn't a verdict. It's just an invitation to finally see the truth. So your first move is to start a dialogue with the part of you that's holding the keys. Don't judge it, just listen to it. Ask it what it needs, what it's trying to protect you from. This is the real path to putting the pieces together and ultimately to freedom. What if there's an animal in the cage? Well, that animal represents your raw, instinctual life. The dream is pointing a huge, flashing arrow directly at the authentic you that got caged up by conditioning, by your family, by society, by all of it. Your unconscious is basically giving you a command. Reconnect with your most vital core self. And let's be clear, this is not about a new hobby. This is about reclaiming a fundamental part of your being. So schedule it, put it in your calendar like it's the most important meeting you have all week. Now, if you're dreaming of an open cage, but you just refuse to leave, you have to dissect your fear. Is it rooted in an actual, real danger happening right now? Or is it an echo from a past wound? Chances are, your mind is just stuck in a loop, protecting you from a threat that has long since passed. See, you have to prove to your own nervous system that the past is over. And you do this with small, totally manageable acts of exposure. These aren't huge, scary leaps. They're just tiny steps that start to rewrite that old story and build a new foundation of safety and trust in yourself. But you know, not all cages are self-made. So let's get into part 2, where we look at the cages that are imposed by others, the systems, the expectations, and the projections we get from the outside world. This is such a classic case of psychological projection. If you're watching someone else in a cage, that caged person often represents qualities inside of you that you've pushed down or disowned. Get out a journal, describe them, and you might be pretty surprised to see your own reflection staring back. Ah yes, the golden cage. This dream is demanding a ruthless audit of your life. Sure, it's comfortable, it's secure, but what is the real price you're paying for all that comfort? You've got to be brutally honest about the trade-off. The key here is that you don't have to tear everything down all at once. An exit strategy starts small. It starts with private acts of building a life outside that comfortable prison. A new skill, a side project, something that is 100% yours, and yours alone. This one can be the hardest cage to escape, because you just can't see the bars. For anyone dreaming of an invisible cage, your first task isn't to fight, it's to see. You literally cannot unlock what you cannot name. And that's why these practices are so essential, because the body holds on to what the mind can't name or has been trained to ignore. They help you identify those inherited beliefs and those old authority figures whose voices are still running your internal operating system.
So finally, we get to the most dynamic dreams of all, the moments of collapse and breakthrough. This is when the structure itself, whether it's internal or external, actually starts to fail. And this, right here, is the moment of initiation.
If you have this dream, please do not waste it. This is a massive green light from your unconscious. It's a signal that all the inner work you've been doing has hit a critical point. Do not hesitate.
Your own mind is telling you that the time for slow, careful, incremental change is over. It is time to act decisively. What have you already been letting go of? Okay, good. Now, speed it up. Make one bold move. Take a leap.
When you dream of a broken or a falling cage, your conscious mind is going to instinctively panic. It'll want to rebuild it. But the dream's prescription is the total opposite. Lean into it. This isn't a failure, you guys. It's an upgrade. This is the essential question you have to ask yourself. All of that energy you've been using just to maintain the cage, it's now free. Your job is not to fix the ruins, but to start building the new life, right there in the middle of them. And your dream, that is the voice. It's breaking through all the noise of your daily life with a message you can no longer afford to ignore. It has spoken. It's crystal clear. And this calling, well, it's not a polite suggestion. It is a fundamental demand for your own evolution. The dream is the alarm clock, set by your own soul, and it is ringing off the hook.
So there's no more ambiguity. There's no more room for denial. Your inner world has just shown you the truth of your situation with perfect clarity. Because here's the final truth of it. Every single bar is just a belief you can question. Every lock is just a lie you inherited or maybe agreed to. The way out isn't some big secret. It's a choice that you already know how to make.
Your dream has done its job. It's drawn you the map. It has shown you the door. The only question left? Well, that's the one that only you can answer.